Well, I want to be careful that I did not go through the entirety of DOA's video because he started to get into some weird areas, including dinosaurs. No, I'm not joking. He started talking about dinosaurs. So he had a kind of Richard Dawkins section. So I'm reacting to the DOA sections dealing with mainly Aaron, Smith-Levin, the anti-Scientology movement, and those topics. But I will try to be fair and listen to the rest because, yeah, this was insane. So for those just catching up, DOA for a while was Aaron's most loyal supporter, as he himself says, but now lately he's been asking some critical questions about the SPTV Foundation, which Aaron is a president of, and what exactly it's up to, and what they were doing in Los Angeles, screaming and jumping up and down, and basically just becoming a public menace. And now he's having second thoughts about the whole experience. And it is quite a wonder to behold that literally a month ago, I was asking similar questions. You were asking similar questions. Other people, Zero Dark Tony, Toddy, you go through the list. We were all asking the same questions like, wait, you're the president of the foundation and it's not really a foundation and you've got all this money. We don't know where it's going. What are you really doing? You're caught up in these scandals. What the hell's happening? And apparently now it's safe to ask these questions because when we asked the questions, we were OSA agents. But DOA's chat is assuring us, oh my God, you're so brave. Oh my God, you're finally speaking out. Oh my God, we were all thinking the same thing. Uh huh. Uh huh. But nevertheless, even if DOA is, to put it mildly, not trustworthy, the questions were good ones, and some of the criticisms were pretty sharp. And he did get into areas I was not aware of. For instance, apparently some protesters I know are having some legal problems, but there were some protesters I'm not aware of, and they're facing some legal problems, and Aaron is not helping, or at least publicly, he's not really trying to help them at all and not really doing anything. Now, maybe behind the scenes, he is making phone calls, he is giving donations, but apparently a few people are just being prosecuted and they're not receiving help. They're not getting help from the SPTV creators. They're not getting help from the SPTV Foundation. And this is a very generous foundation because they throw all kinds of parties, barbecues, beer, rent boats, give out equipment. But see, those are to the people Aaron likes. So if you're Kelly or Liz, the right kind of Liz, Nora, Serge, he's very generous with those people. The people on the actual board, yeah, he's willing to give them a little bit of money and give them some gifts and goodies. But if you're outside that circle, like Liz Ferris and apparently some of these protesters, no soup for you. No soup for you at all. That's interesting. So I didn't know that. So good on him for calling that out. But again, as he admits, a lot of this is driven by jealousy, rage, and anger, and wanting to get revenge because Aaron refuses to denounce some, quote, bad actors that DOA suspects is destroying the movement, but from within. Now, I'm going to put a pin on that. I think these accusations are serious, but again, it seems a little bit back and forth. I mean, I understand what DOA is saying that the movement seemed to have coherence, but then it started to drift. And their latest disaster, which was trying to occupy the Blue Building in Los Angeles, didn't go so well. Well, I'm not taking on that assumption. I think his presumptions about what did happen or didn't happen with the movement are wrong. To me, it seemed they were doing some good things and trying to discourage recruitment at the Hollywood Center. Okay, that seemed to make sense. And were all the tactics good? No, some stuff didn't make any sense, but it's like, okay, well, that is fair. That is a testing center. It is in public. They're on the sidewalk, and they were exposing some police corruption. But then it started to drift and become more and more like a celebrity reality show. And for whatever reason, they targeted the La Po Booba, the Booba restaurant near the Celebrity Center, and that became the focus of attention. And then they started to reach outwards and just went to all these weird places and just with their cameras were just screaming and harassing civilians and just insulting people, including women, by the way. These were allegedly anti-Danny Masterson protests, and they were screaming at women who were not interested in them and saying, oh, she probably deserved it. Totally, bro. She totally deserves it. Yeah, these were the anti-Danny Masterson protests. I'm not joining DOA on this weird nostalgia for the early days of the protest. And somehow, that was good. it was all good. No, it wasn't all good. But at least they were focused somewhat on police corruption, and that made sense because the church definitely has a lot of scandals with the cops and the police, and not just in Los Angeles. They've got a real chokehold on Florida, which surprisingly Aaron does very little work on. He calls out the corruption here and there in Florida, but for the most part, he kind of ignores it, which is really curious. And DOA's main gripe is also kind of phony. Like his main thing that he has a problem with Aaron is that Aaron, Serge, and the others aren't really consistent with protesting. They'll only come in for a few days or on the weekend. They'll take some photos with the protesters, and they don't really do anything and go home or go out for drinks and have a dinner, which apparently does not include him. So I guess he's a little jealous that Liz Gale is not inviting him, I don't know, to the beer party or whatever it is. So yeah, some of this is just petty jealousy and nonsense, but he does make a point. If Aaron is going to go out to LA and substantively spend more money just drinking cocktails and on a dinner party, what, spending hundreds or thousands of dollars? Yeah, that's a lot of money that could be going into much more vital activities. It is a little curious about what the methodology is of the quote second gens or gems or whatever they're calling themselves, that they will come out for the protest to support the other protesters, but usually they will do videos from the comfort of their house, and they scream a lot too there, but they don't really do anything. I mean, they keep saying do this about the IRS, have these lawsuits, have those lawsuits, but substantively, they haven't really done anything. I don't think one single lawsuit has emerged from this at all. Even the Tim Talman case where Aaron was falsely arrested. And I do think there, he definitely has a reason to sue the police, although he did technically provoke the action. But even there, I've not heard anything. So yeah, it does seem like a lot of celebrity media antics where, yeah, they'll show up to the blue building, take a few photos, use their camera, get in their car, and it's like, okay, see you later. If you are taking the protest seriously, I can see how that's frustrating. So, okay. So DOA made some valid points, although again, he's making them from a place it seems of revenge and jealousy. And he makes clear that he would not have done this if Aaron had denounced the right people. But Aaron refused to denounce the right people, so now DOA is angry. So it's not based on any real set of solid principles here. It's just DOA is angry and jealous that Aaron is not giving him enough attention. It's a little silly. That said, some good points. And apparently it's getting a lot of traction because Nora, who previously loved DOA, is saying, I think DOA needs to go away now. I think it'd be okay if DOA went away now. Wait, weren't you and DOA in this friendly conversation and you congratulated him saying, we are so grateful. You're looking at these tunnels? You're discovering all these tunnels? Oh my God, you're such a radical activist. I remember they were chatting together and Nora seemed to like DOA just a few days ago. So apparently he's no longer welcome because he's questioning Aaron and the Church of Arontology. And you don't do that. You never question the Church of Arontology. We're all here to bow and pray to Aaron and say, Aaron's, you're the most beautiful thing in the universe. That's what we're here to do. But DOA is breaking the rules and it's like, oh, I used to have faith in the SPTV Foundation, but now I got questions. I got a lot of questions. So it's good that the questions are finally being asked, but it's not being done for the right reasons. Nevertheless, it's good questions, and apparently they are having an effect because Nora's usually doing the play acting of, I love everyone. We're just a big family. It's just a really big team of professional protesters. And I was like, what are you doing, DOA? You're acting like a clown. Yeah, he's been acting like a clown for months and months, and you didn't care. You weren't calling it out. You were part of the clown nonsense. But now Nora's like, oh, guys, I like DOA, but I think he's been acting like a clown lately. Lately? No, he's not been acting like a clown lately. He acted like a clown the first time he jumped out of his van with his superhero cape and that weird-ass deer cape cap, whatever he had on his head, and just looking like some weirdo from a 1970s porno film. So I don't know about if lately he's been acting like he's been a clown for a long time. But I'm glad Nora now is being a little bit more honest about her doubts about DOA. Hey, maybe they're going to try to be honest about everything now, but we're going to have to wait and see if they're going to start being honest about most things. I doubt it, but some honesty is better than no honesty at all.